I got off, but knew that possibly the house cleaners were still there. So I was like, I'm gonna check the GameStop app and
Okay.
see if there's any Switch 2s in stock.
Ooh.
Dude. So I went to check and it said pick up local. And I was like, what? So I
Hmm.
like drove to the GameStop at my house and I secured myself a Mario Kart World Edition Switch 2, and I bought a copy of Donkey Kong.
Heck
And
yeah.
dude, Mario Kart World is friggin' awesome,
Is
dude.
it?
One of my favorite levels that because Camber and I were kind of dabbling and playing it a little bit on the weekend. And one of my favorite levels is you're just racing, right?
Mhm.
And then you kind of see in the distance what kind of looks like the red barrier stacking things from
Okay.
Donkey Kong.
No way.
And suddenly a giant Donkey Kong runs past all the drivers, right? And you're like
What?
watching him run ahead of you. And then he starts scaling it. And then when you get there, it's a course and you're driving up and
No way.
you're dodging the barrels as you're driving up the course. And dude, all the courses, it's not lapping the same course. You just reach lap points as you drive through these crazy
Oh,
courses.
whoa. That's
And
cool.
there's so many maps. There's so many characters. Like it's so Mario Kart World. I see why people are saying it's amazing. It's
Yeah.
because it's literally like the best rendition of Mario Kart I've ever played. So
And I've heard only great things about that new Donkey Kong.
yeah,
So,
I hear it's comparable to, if not better than Mario Odyssey, which like
dude, I
I
like,
I always have full faith in any
yeah,
Nintendo title because I
there's
mean
fun.
Nintendo, they always like revolutionize or do something cool with they make their game unique in some sort of way, and then it's just
Dude, not
it's
only do they make games unique, and not that we're not sponsored by Nintendo,
yeah,
but
we really
I went
aren't.
to I went to the Epic Universe with
Uh-huh.
my family this weekend, and all right, let's get into the show because I need to talk about this. Hello, welcome to We Have Issues. I'm Anthony.
And I am Stevie Wildcard.
And every week, my best friend Stevie Wildcard and I get together and we do our best to take all of our issues and throw them into a Donkey Kong barrel and shoot them into space. We take all of the various.
We don't even throw them at an Italian plumber. We just launch them right into space.
Yeah, we're not going to throw them in an Italian plumber. What in this economy? Get out of here! Get out of here, dude. It's been a long week for me. I'm sure it's been a long week for you. So you got a new Switch. That's freaking cool.
Yeah.
I've been reluctant to like spend to take that plunge with the Switch 2 just because like I don't know if there are enough games for it yet. I don't know. Like it's
So amazing thing about Switch 2 is it's entirely backwards compatible from what I've
Mm.
seen so far. And some of the games, for example, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, really amazing game, but it was really held back by FPS because
Mm.
like they went too far with it. Like they were like, let's create a world where it's like an MMO Pokemon world almost, where you
Right.
walk around and there's hundreds of Pokemon. Like you engage with the Pokemon. They're not hiding in the grass. You physically see them.
Yeah.
And then what happened was when you get to big zones with a lot of Pokemon to load in, they would suck in the view distance and then it would be really laggy. But I guess on the Switch 2, that's completely fixed because obviously the hardware
Cool.
is stronger. So yeah, you can see like far and stuff like that. So yeah, he could play all of his games. And then, like I said already,
There
Mario Kart and
are
Donkey Kong.
expansions and different things.
th-
That's
Mario Kart and Donkey Kong alone will keep you busy for sure. So
That's very true. But every week we don't just talk about Nintendo and Mario and such. We also try to talk about the various attempts that we make at creating comic books in the world. We've been trying to make this our career, and we've been failing, Stephen. We've been failing to make it a career, but we're doing better, and we're like we are making progress. I've been feeling. I mean, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but I've been feeling like I feel like stagnant lately. I think it's because we haven't been working on like Deathless or something like
which
that. Like
I'm so close, dude.
I
I'm
know we're
so
so close to
close.
getting back to. But we've been making comics for years now. We've been making the doing this podcast every single week to keep everyone up to date with our various projects. Stephen, will you give people like a rundown of our books that we've published through this podcast so far?
Circa 2019, Anthony decides that we need to launch a podcast to keep us accountable because I don't want to say mean things to my best friend to keep him up on his pages. Podcast is a success. It maintains, and we publish I believe it's either 39 or 41 page time travel autobiography. Was on
A semi.
what
Yeah.
was a semi autobiographical time travel graphic novel musical, and We published that to great success as our first Kickstarter campaign. Play It Again was a very different comic than most comics that get put out there. It did us really well, and a lot of people really enjoyed it. But then after Play It Again, we decided to change form and go to more of like a traditional comic route where we kind of followed like not superheroism, but like a character, powers, things are going on.
Well, we gave the audience the opportunity to vote, so we pitched a series of ideas, and the one that people landed on was a supernatural superhero culty comedy comic that we called Deathless. And yeah, so it's
And
about
we've published all three on Kickstarter, and all three were of great success. And we were currently working on when we were working on issue three, we were actually asked to do the interior work for a separate comic project that's more of like an erotic vampire
comedy,
witch
like yeah,
action comedy awesome thing. So we did that, and we collected, I mean, don't get me wrong, we some of the Kickstarters were profitable for us, some of them weren't, but because of our overextension. But this was like the first chance where we were actually cut a paycheck for doing something. So we did that, and then while we were starting issue 4, we were asked to do issue 2 of that. So we have 4, 5, this will be 6, and then we're working on Deathless 4, which would be 7. So we have almost 7 comic book projects that we've done since we started this,
pretty impressive.
while maintaining our relationships, while raising our children, while working full-time jobs. And yeah, that's our journey so far. And
It's
it couldn't have been done without the people
like
that tune in every week to this podcast. That is
no, I'm so
100%.
glad anyone's watching right now, but like it's just amazing to me that okay, first of all, if this is your first episode, welcome. Sorry that it's a bit hectic and loosey goosey this week. It is every week. Get used to it. I'm sorry. But and we do have a plan. Do we stick to it? Almost never. But it's been such an interesting, weird, amazing, depressing, crazy time, Steven. Like people have literally watched me go through a crazy, basically divorce, rebuilding my life, dating. I was stalked for a while.
Yeah, there's
I
a lot of
was
stories throughout those episodes.
There's so many weird stories. Like we have lost people, we've lost friends and family members. We have gained new family members. I'm engaged to be married now to the love of my life. I even like I quit my job and started doing other things, and then I found a new job, and like we have all this stuff that we've been doing on camera, and I've been kind of spiraling lately, so I kind of needed to hear you say like all the things that we were doing, that we've been doing, because like I've been like, oh,
Had to
I'm
like
not working on any, I'm not writing, and I feel like, and it sucks. I don't mean to like tie my whole identity into like the writing that I do, but it's like sometimes when I'm not writing or creating something, I feel like, oh, I'm just not existing, even though obviously I am. I'm out here doing all kinds of stuff.
it's like it literally feels like the dream is dying in real time when that happens. So I totally get it. Like when I'm like when I have a lot of workload ahead of me in terms of the comics and stuff, and I feel like,
Yeah.
all this time I'm putting into it, and then I worry like, oh no, like what happens, like, and then like I'm not moving fast enough, but then I'm not doing this enough. It's the whack-a-mole game that we all play.
Yeah.
But yes, one thing that does always feel good is approaching the finishing of a project. And when it comes to Bloodlust 2, I am one page left basically.
Yes. Dude,
And I'm gonna my game plan is to have that done before Friday. So that
yeah.
way Flats can start rolling in, and we can get all the print material maybe by the end of the week, even like Sunday or something.
Oh,
Because you're quick as hell with the balloons, and then
yeah.
if it gets to a point where you want to pull off of Flats to do balloons, I can just take over
Yeah, and
full
I really
colors,
only have a few pages to flat, so it's not
yeah,
bad.
because we
The lettering.
no, and I've been they're uploaded too. So that and honestly, since it's a night, since basically the second half of the book takes
Yeah.
place at night on the ocean on a pirate ship, a lot of the ways I've been adding texture and depth to the scenes is basically shading the entire sky and texturizing the entire pirate ship anyway. So
Yeah.
the flats, I mean, it just adds to the already present line art that's there. So like when it comes to the shading of it, I really just have to add glow effects, and then some darken some areas, lighten some areas, and then it's done. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah,
most of the light,
we don't
most
have
of the
much
lighting
left.
effects are there. Yeah, it's
So
there.
we don't have much left of this book. And then once we're done with this book, I
Mhm.
promise you, all that we are going to get back to Deathless, finish this series so we can have a beautiful graphic novel, trade
Be
paperback,
done.
in our hands, be done with that, and move on to something else that we love. Like I don't know what it is yet. We've been talking about this like fun, Sorceress idea that we have. I do love it, and I've been thinking about writing stuff for it recently. But like I
Periodically I'll just think of like different pieces for her outfit and stuff to really like, because I forget, did Akira Toriyama say this? I think it might have been someone else, but someone said you should recognize a character by their silhouette, right? Like when you,
I believe that was Michael Scott.
was it Michael? It was, you should recognize the character by their silhouette, Akira Toriyama hyphen Michael Scott. But yes, I feel like that is so true, right? Like think of
For
any
sure.
iconic character or any,
Oh yeah.
I mean, their silhouette, like Goku's silhouette could be, it's Goku without a doubt,
Yeah.
SpongeBob, just
100%.
any known character. So like I've been working on like what her silhouette looks like, in my
Mhm.
head, like just because she has a lot of cool gear and stuff in that, and there's a lot of ways to shape the
It's going to be
character
fun.
silhouette.
Steve and I have been just to give people a little bit of context. We kind of built this whole idea together while we were at a convention when no one was buying any of our books, and we're just sitting there spitballing back and forth. And like Steven pitched this idea of this like kind of younger girl with these big scissors who was with a bear, like a stuffed bear, and we were like trying to figure out a way to make it work, and we kind of came up with this really cool world that I'm excited to like dive into and get like introduce people to. I do think it's going to be a wild success when it happens. So stay tuned for that. We'll get more into that and we'll like pitch it to you and let's see what you guys think in the future. For now, Steven, let's talk about our issues this week. So like
Mm.
what did you go through this week? What got in the way? What stopped you?
So I'm it's just as per usual. It is August in Florida
Mm.
and I am working in that
Yep.
from 6:30 a.m. till about 3. So coming home, like that's the hardest part is like in the morning I'm so hyped. I'm like, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna get home, and then I'm gonna shower, and then I'm gonna bust ass on these pages. It's gonna be awesome. And then by the time I get home, I need like that hour of transfer
Yeah.
time.
Oh, you do.
And
You're
like you're
like
just
a fish
worn
in the bag,
out.
just acclimating,
Yeah.
like, but it
Yeah.
never happened. You're like, oh, I can't draw like this.
But I've been very active this week on the pages. It's just these pages are just I don't know, like it's one of those things where like you see like what you've written,
Mhm.
what you're going for to create, and these are the most action-based pages of the
Yeah.
issue, so they really should draw the eye great. So I've put a lot of time into them. This is what it
And
is.
and it
Every
shows.
page shows. Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
every
it
page is
shows. And
there's lines everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like
okay, so basically, to give everyone a little bit of context about this book, about Bloodlust in general, we were basically hired to fill in the guts of a book in that is basically going to be sold to people who just want to see the sexy parts on the cover. Like that's what they're doing. They're like, "Hey, we're going to make these sexy covers. People probably aren't going to read this. They just want this sexy cover. But we want to see if, let's maybe we can fill it with something that's has some substance." And Steven and I were like, "You know what? Let's like go all in. Like Phil Collins in the Tarzan soundtrack. We
like
were
there's no
like
reason for us to go this hard, but we
no
went
reason
that
for us to
hard.
go this hard. Like literally we could have drawn stick figures and it would have been fine and no one would have cared and I would have been like, "Yeah, okay, as long as these stick figures have boobs on a couple of pages, fine." But instead of that, we made something that was funny and entertaining and adventurous and actually has a world that's worthy of exploration, and actually has characters that are fun to follow, doing things that are entertaining to read, I hope. And,
Mm.
I think it's a good book. And Steven is going all Phil Collins on the art. It's like, it's oops all beauty. Like the pages are like super dynamic. They look amazing. It definitely doesn't look like he's doing it for a paycheck. And I think that's just exactly why they hired us. I think they're like, oh yeah, these guys, they're like, they can do anything, but they're gonna actually make a good book, suckers. Like we just because Steven and I like the only way we can get through things is if we really enjoy it one way or another, like or if we really love.
It's like I've never, for example, ever been able to be a salesman because unless I truly
Yep.
believe in the
Yeah,
product I'm selling,
can't do it.
I can't lie to I don't know. And it's not that I can't choose to lie and do it. It's just am incapable of actually coming off as a normal human being when trying to do something like that. You know what I'm
So
saying? Like,
true. It's so
hi,
true.
it's good. It's good for
Oh,
you.
God,
Like,
this is
I'm just
good,
not
and it won't.
capable.
No, it's like, well, because you feel like Mr. Incredible, where it's like, don't buy this, it's bad. Like, you don't want to like
Yeah.
scare people. What are you doing? So, I think that's part of what happened is like, we were hired to do this thing that has like this kind of air of inauthenticity in it because people are just like, oh yeah, I'm in it for the boobs. But we're like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna make it worth your while, baby. And
We're
like,
gonna make you know these characters' names. And that's really, I think, what it is they wanted to create their own IP. And that's what really brings like the more tangibility to that, right? Like, because it's like these are characters, these are their characters, our characters. And yeah, Cass is awesome. Winnie and Hazel are great.
yeah,
And Romero's awesome, obviously. But yeah, like, and Moira's a really badass vampire. I can't wait to draw that last page. I
that's
already have it roughed. I already have it laid out, by the way.
oh, that's
And I
cool.
don't know if you noticed about that last panel, so I changed ever so slightly what you had just because
Yeah.
of the perspectives I was already hitting on that page. I
Mhm.
didn't want to draw another perspective because like I had already covered almost every position she was in, you
Yeah.
know? And I was like, the next panel is in
Us-
Moira as she's draining, she sees the map.
mhm.
Moira does. So I thought it'd be a cool like flip. Like Cass is looking out the ocean, and in the reflection of her sunglasses, you see the ocean. But then the next page, you see the reflection in Moira's eye of the map and all that. And I just thought that'd be a
That'll
pretty
be cool.
cool,
That'll be
cool
cool for
turn.
sure. But yeah, dude, I've been spinning a little bit recently, but like I know it's only because we're at the end of this project. We're getting ready to work on something else, and I'm just like starting to get antsy. I'm just like, I need to write something else. I need to write. I haven't written in a while. I've started this new job, so I feel like more of my time has been taken. And I'm just, oh, I've been spinning, and it's been crazy. I feel like none of my time is mine at this moment, And I'm just like, I need it. I need time.
The
Uh,
30s are a busy time. We've said that already, but yeah, it really is because especially if you're juggling a job, family raising, and all that,
yeah,
it just time flies. It's not, dude, it is already August
yeah,
of 2025. Like,
yeah.
dude, I just
How does this happen?
is this a gauge of
What's in
time for
charge of
you? Dude, is this a gauge of time for you? Because I'm sure it is because we think this. We used to say the stuff back in the day when we would see movies. Like, I look back and think, man, Doomsday and those movies seemed
Yep.
so fucking far away, and now we're just like on death's door of those movies. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like it's almost
I
2026. Like that seemed like forever. Like, there's no way, dude.
It's so true.
We were in the theater seeing Spider-Man 2 and thinking like, oh my god, I wonder how far they'll go. And we've already seen three-time Tom Holland
Oh,
Spider-Man movies,
yeah,
and
it's
two
nuts.
Andrew Garfield, and an additional Raimi one since that
Yep.
time. You know, that's
Oh,
crazy to think.
it really is crazy. I can't. Yeah, you're totally right, dude. That is literally how I like. That's how
It's
I
all
see
it's all it's all based on movie release time.
based
That's
on
what's
movie
so funny.
releases. That's just how it works. But it's been a crazy time. I mean, like this is just it's just how time works. It's just, you have to try to like focus in the moment so you don't let that time pass. It's the whole Ferris Bueller
Hmm.
of it all. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. And but it sucks because so much of the time that you're focused on is work that you have to do for other people one way or another. So it's like
Hmm.
finding the little bits of joy in those things. It's not always easy. Thankfully, like my day job tends to have a lot of moments where I can like pull like I'm like, oh, this is pretty funny. This is fun. I get to be around comic
You
books.
at least are in like the same like theme of like what you like want your life to be like in terms of like what you're surrounded by.
It's getting there, but like it's
Yeah.
like like I go to work and it feels like before a movie when you go to see a movie in theaters and it's like join the movie team, like you like do you ever want to be a part of Hollywood? Join the cast here. And I'm like, this isn't being a part of the movie. What? You're
You're
like
just making me watch some sort of behind the scenes thing that was like forcibly pushed on these actors to film
It's
so that way
so
you
weird.
would.
Well, they're like they do the ads for like employment at the theater, and they're like, "You ever want to be in the movie business?" I'm like, "That's not the movie
That's not
business. That's not
the
even close to this."
slinging popcorn to a bunch of ungrateful kids is not being
No,
in the movie
that's like
business.
that's like me calling myself a dentist because like I found my son's tooth on the floor when it fell out. Like what are you talking? That's not even close. I didn't do any of the work. I didn't put any of the
Could
work in.
you, could you imagine if like Carly or like if in my case Tina is like, say, would you want to become a dentist, Steven? Could you pick that tooth up off the floor? Bro, just tell me you need me to kneel over and pick up something because you don't want to.
Don't try to insult me by calling me a doctor.
Insult,
Like,
man.
I'm gonna make you call me doctor from now on. Get out of my life.
Dr. Steven. Pages Dr. Steven.
But dude, it's been crazy. Thankfully, I did get a vacation recently. I got a vacation this week, Steven. Carly and Atlas and I, we got in the car and we drove to Orlando and we did a 3-day vacation at the Universal parks. We
Which
did,
sounds so epic.
dude. So we got to go to Universal and Islands of Adventure and the Epic Universe. And Steven, I just want to, because I already talked a little about Epic Universe. Let me just tell you for a second, okay? Have you seen the videos? Have you seen any videos of Epic Universe Mario, like the Super Mario World?
I haven't. No.
No? Okay. Well, for those of you who might have seen these videos, like if you ever see a video of it and you're like, I'll tell you my experience, right? I was like, let me see what this looks like. And it looks cool. Like you see it and it's like you see you see Bowser's Castle and you see like question mark blocks and you see like Goombas and all this like a piranha plant. And on the video, it feels like this is like a McDonald's playground with extra steps. Like it kind of looks like this is gonna be like kids are gonna walk around, but like whatever. Dude, I almost cried walking into there. Like I walked like Steven, you go up an escalator that's taking you through a green pipe, like a Mario pipe.
That's awesome. First,
So and you're spat out into the Mushroom Kingdom. And it's just a phenomenal, overwhelming view for anyone who's ever loved Mario games at all. Like if you've ever played Mario and you're like, oh yeah, I love that one Mario game, you're gonna almost cry going into this play. Like it is literally an overwhelming. Like I've never felt so like enveloped in a world before. I went in there, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it now. Like I felt like Anton Ego. Like I felt like, in Ratatouille, like, he like sees his childhood and I was like, oh, yeah, oh, okay. Yeah, like
this is my Ratatouille.
It really, like, I looked at Atlas and he was almost crying. He was like literally beside himself. Like, this is the greatest day of my life. So we got there and we got these like wristbands and you can literally punch the blocks and collect coins on your wristband.
That is so sick.
Steven, they have like mini games to play. They have all this stuff. It's such an incredible.
So is it designed well enough? Because I'm assuming the rides are busy, but is the whole world just designed so well that like the wait isn't too bad or anything like that?
Okay, so here's the thing. The waits are unbelievably bad. Like Steven, unbearably bad. Just like it's unacceptable. I will tell you, like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. We were spoiled because we went 2 days before that. We went to Universal and Islands of Adventure. If we went to Universal and Islands of Adventure, dude, the longest wait we had in those 2 days was like 30 minutes.
Dang,
Like the
that's
longest
awesome.
wait. The longest wait. Like that was like the longest, right? Like Steven, the shortest wait we had at Epic Universe, right, was 90 minutes for the Mario stuff.
Oh my
Like,
God.
dude, it was okay. The shortest wait altogether in all of the Epic Universes was the Monsters Unleashed ride. Steven, first of all, I'm biased when it comes to monster stuff, horror stuff. Like I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna take it all in. I absorb it, and I just freaking can't get enough of it, right? I will tell you, it was so much cooler than I expected it to be, the monster ride, right?
Really? Like wow, like
It
even
was
like surpassed your expectations.
Steven, the monster ride, as far as the rides that we went on at Epic Universe, was the coolest ride. It was the most fun. It was the most like well done. It was awesome. And it has the shortest wait because no one cares. Like isn't that
Really?
yeah, it actually had only a 15-minute wait.
Wow.
Yeah, we walked right through there. We actually rode it twice. It was amazing. And I didn't expect it. Both Atlas and Carly both said that's their favorite ride as well. Like it was like I was just like, yeah,
Is the Monsters ride like one of those visual rides with a like you're in something, but it's also like there's visuals happening?
so the Monsters
Like
ride.
Spider-Man almost or something like that?
It's similar to Spider-Man, but it's closer to the Harry Potter like journey through Hogwarts. Like you sit on a thing. It's like an arm that like you're sitting on an arm rather than a roller coaster, and it kind of takes you around and does crazy stuff like as you're seeing the sights and you're experiencing the story of like Dr. Frankenstein's granddaughter or whatever it is, and she's trying to create an act like a new Frankenstein monster while harnessing the various monsters, and Dracula gets loose, and it's all this. It's like it's a fun story. And you see all the monsters. You even see like the Hunchback of Notre Dame is in there. The
Really?
yeah, dude. The what do you call it? Phantom of the Opera's there. Like the wolf. The coolest part I think was the Wolf Man, but it was just awesome. It was just like just incredible to experience. So much so that we freaking went on it twice, dude. Epic Universe though, overall beautiful, like wonderful experience, but it's way too busy and way too hot. Like if any of you out there are considering going, don't go in the summer, like ever. Don't even consider it. Because dude, okay, like you'd imagine, right? Super Mario, it's Mario, the Mushroom Kingdom. You'd imagine like mushroom tops covering the sun to give you some shade, a little bit of relief. There's nothing.
Oh, it's just open,
Dude,
barren
it's
land.
just open barren land, and there are lines for the various games, right? So like like so you get those little wristbands, and like there are no lines to like punch blocks. You can run around doing that all day, and it's
Mm.
fun. You can do that for and just like it's entertaining as heck. But if you want to do the mini games to collect keys and then like fight a boss or anything like that, which you can also do, and it's very cool, there are lines, but the lines are in the freaking scorching sun, Stephen. It's just
Mm.
unbearable. But overall, dude, it was such a good vacation. We had so much fun. We did everything there is to do at the Universal parks, and then like Epic Universe, we did everything we wanted to do, like that day, and we were all just so exhausted. Like the sun just
Oh,
killed us in the best and worst ways.
that sounds like awesome, dude.
Dude, it was such a good time. I don't know, I was so happy. But that being said, I didn't get anything done this week. I was
Yeah,
like,
obviously, I get
yeah,
it.
yeah, I didn't get it. But I will this week. This coming week, I will get something done. Like Atlas is gonna go with his mom for a couple days. So I'm going to have just after work, I'll be able to work on books in color as
Yeah.
much. So
I figure like by the end of the week or even like early Monday, we could probably have it done. Like, so I mean, like I said, if it gets to a point where you want to like start ballooning instead of coloring, just let me know. That way we can
okay,
just get it done. So that way next week we can just start Deathless and be.
yeah, heck yeah,
I want
dude.
to get back
I
into
mean.
Deathless.
Like as soon as you fit, like I'll keep coloring as hard as I can this
It
week.
really only takes you a little bit of time
It's
to
not
do the
that long.
balloons,
It's
right?
yeah, it's not that.
It's not that bad. Like
It's not
like
that
a
bad.
night or two, you could probably get it done. Yeah.
Otherwise, what are you gonna do this week? You're just
I'm
gonna
I'm aiming to finish the final page by probably early, like when I get off work Friday would be like doing the finalization on it. I might be able to get it done before Friday. It all depends. I
yeah.
have tomorrow evening and Thursday. But this year, this is what's been pulling me back a little bit this week is we don't have to do aftercare anymore, which was costing us $100 a week because I get off at 3
Yeah.
and school would end at 2 and then we'd
Yeah.
have to pay for just that little bit of time in between. But
That
now
sucks.
school lets out at 3:10.
Yep.
So I can
It
just
works out
and
great.
my work is 5 minutes from Trafalgar. The
That's awesome.
problem is this is the first time I've ever had to deal with a parent pickup line, and that shit is wild.
What's
Like,
it been like so far?
dude, so the first day I had got off a little early or something,
Yeah.
and I was in line like 20 minutes before school even let out, 30 minutes before school even let
Yeah.
out, and the line was already backed up to Trafalgar. And I'm like, what the hell?
It's an
And
epic
then
universe of
like
its own. Yeah.
but then today I like went home first because like the latest you can pick them up if you're in the line is 3:45. Otherwise, it becomes aftercare. So I was like, bro, let's. I mean, I was there like super early and didn't even get out of the parking lot until 3:40, and I was way ahead of all the other people. So
Yeah.
Tina and I drove up there at 3:40, and then we were still in line, and
Yeah.
line was still going. But
That's
it was like overall less time
yeah.
because I was
Of
waiting in
course.
line for
It's
45 minutes.
isn't it? Yeah, dude. Isn't it funny? You have to find the right windows, and like once you find the window, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go and just drive, and it's going
And
to be
this is I've always heard
yeah.
it's the first week or two that's bad. So I mean I'm sure it'll get better as time progresses.
Yeah, it should.
But yeah.
Atlas's first day at school. Oh my God, dude. So, we went on vacation. So Monday, I'm like, all right, I'm going back to work, but it's also Atlas's first day of school. So I'm like, I'm gonna drop him off at school. Dude, I tried to drive him. I was like, I'm gonna be a little early to drop him off so I can get to work on time and everything will be great. And I'm like, this couldn't possibly take me longer than like 15, 20 minutes to drop him off at school. We only live 3 minutes from the school. Steven, I was wrong. I was so wrong. We literally got to the school. Oh my God, dude, it took us at least 25 minutes
Oh
to
my God.
just make it through the school area. Like it was insane. There's no excuse for it except for just general incompetence. It was
Mhm.
just, just people not knowing what to do, not knowing what they're doing, just bumper to bumper nonsense and people not paying attention and paying attention to all the wrong things as people often do. And dude, it was a nightmare and I was 15 minutes late for work and I was just like, ah. And it sucks.
Sorry, first day of schools. Chris probably
Oh,
understood though. He's got
oh yeah,
plenty of
Chris
kids.
doesn't
Well, they
care.
all they all they all homeschool,
Yeah,
um,
he doesn't care.
but yeah, it'll get better. But that's the only thing I was even telling Tina. I'm like, babe, if this is like an hour every time I get off work, it's almost like worth my time just to pay
Yeah.
for the aftercare just so we can grab them a little later or something like. Because what sucked last year too is like we're not the kind of parents that were like picking them up at 6. You know what I'm saying? Like we could have taken full advantage
Oh
of
yeah.
that aftercare,
Yeah.
but I want to see my kids, so like I grab them at 3. You
100%.
know what I'm saying?
I
But
was like Atlas decided he didn't want to do Taekwondo this year, which kind of sucked because I was like, you were really into it, and like you really loved it, and I really like watching you break those boards because I hate trees or whatever.
whatever stance I've decided to take this
Whatever
year.
stance I've taken today. No, I don't know. It's just fun to watch. It's just like, and you get excited, and you're like, it's something that's like, oh, I'm proud of you. You like learned this thing and practiced and tried hard, and you did, So, but he was like, I don't want to do it, and I'm like, all right, well, I also don't want to pay $100 a week,
Yeah, this is just
so
gonna save money.
works out, but now I'm like, oh crap, okay, what do we do? What do I do after school? I have to make sure you're, doing your homework, and I have to do all this stuff. I don't know. So like, I also want him to get into something so he has friends, like,
Yeah,
as
because Chase, for example, we the girls do dance on Thursdays at a gym separate from the school, but we're the person who teaches them at the gym actually works at the salon with Tina also. So she's on like the docket to pick them up from the school and everything. So like on those days she would just grab them and then like hang like almost like a big sister is really cute. But
cool.
Chase, the moment she was like even hinted at like maybe you don't have to, maybe she's like I don't want to do dance, I want to be on my iPad and be a
Yeah,
goblin on
one-
Roblox. Like
100.
that's what she wants to do all the time.
Yeah,
Cammy is definitely more social. Cammy wants those times, but
yeah,
Chase will hobgoblin in a room for hours if
yeah,
we let her. You
yeah,
know, she's a lone
100%.
wolf.
What, you want me to be social? Get out of here. What do you
Yeah,
think?
she's like I have one friend, Dad. That's all I need. She's
That's all I
awesome.
need.
She lives in
I
Arizona.
have
We
a close
FaceTime
friend.
the entire time we're playing video games, and that's what we
Yep.
do. That's our life.
Atlas loves that life also. So it's
Yeah,
like, of course he has the girls, and he's just like, I have enough. Yeah, he's like,
yeah.
Dad,
'Cause
you only have like one friend. What do you like?
what do you even talk about? You're not wrong. Like
No,
we do keep our shit tight, and this is what we do. Okay.
it's so funny, dude. But anyway,
Yep.
so like that's what we're doing this week. Those are the problems we had this week. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for being a part of this. Thank you for watching our silly, ridiculous show. I promise that soon we're gonna get back to sharing books with you that you can actually read and access and hopefully love. If you do want to read Bloodlust and like keep up to date with any of that stuff, I do post it on our Patreon for those people. But I know it's supposed to be an exclusive book for only some for like
In
small
terms of the physical copies, like
in
Anthony
terms
and
of
I actually get a cool little print run as the creators, a
yeah.
little like one issue of each cover thing that we
Yeah,
hide far, far away from our children. But
sure.
it's definitely through that. So, but anyways,
But yeah, if you're interested, check out our Patreon. Contact us on Twitter or one of the various social media apps. But really, just know that we're thankful for you. We really hope to see you next week and every week after that forever because we're going to keep doing this, even if only 20 people watch. Steven, our numbers have been so bad lately. I'm trying to be cool about it, but it's breaking my heart. It's
it
breaking
happens,
my.
bro.
I know. It's fine. If you're here, we love you. Just know that, and we appreciate you. And we're glad to have this colony, no matter how small, or just know that we just love you, and we're just happy to be doing this at all. Anyway, until next time, I'm Anthony,
I'm Stevie Wildcard.
and this has been We Have Issues. We'll see you next week.
Boom, 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 boom 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 Boom, 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 boom.
I've been watching. You ever seen the show Naked and Afraid?
I know what it is. I've seen clips. I know exactly what you're talking about. They basically just throw two people naked into the wild. They have to work together, shit like that.
Yeah, yeah. So
It's like Survivor, but it's more interpersonal because it's like smaller groups, right?
yes,
It's like
it's small. So it's like several small groups of
it's a
three.
couple. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, it's several small groups of three, and they throw them into like this random wilderness, wherever it may be. This season that we're watching, it's Naked and Afraid, like apocalypse, like Armageddon edition, end of the world, because it's like an insufferable, unlivable, unsustainable atmosphere of Africa, like just like the barren wasteland of death and lions and elephants and crocodiles. And Steven, okay, Steven, if I. Steven, if I asked you, okay, what do you think the prize is if they win? If they're the last.
Oh my God. So if you're like are legitimate at risk of being eaten, and that's the thing is as human beings, although as Floridians, we know what to expect somewhat, but as human beings, we're thinking like, oh my God, lions, like hyenas, like these big beasts of bird, like just nasty monsters. Bro, the mosquitoes, the giant ant hills, the like as a Floridian, you're not taking into account the insects. Like that's gotta be horrible. And yeah, I mean just like Africa is obviously very hot, very like, water is not always present.
You have to know.
So you
I was gonna say, so where they are is literally inhospitable. Like it is a barren wasteland. It's not like they're not like, hey, go live in this like small
lush oasis.
Like yeah, like no, it's literally a place where no one lives because no one can. Like there's no way to survive there.
There's no agriculture. There's nothing growing.
There's nothing growing. You can do nothing here but suffer. So yeah, what do you imagine the prize?
One would hope that there would have been some sort of inflation with prize monies, considering Survivor was $1 million. So yeah. I would hope that they were at least competing for $1 million, which is the old 20 is the new $1 million is the old $20 bill apparently at this point. But I'm going to say at least $1 million, right?
Steven, I learned that there is no prize.
They just do it for the taste.
Steven, the craziest thing. Imagine Steven, Discovery Channel is just OnlyFans for wild people. Like it's just nature people. Like that's all it is. It's like, hey, do you want to see dirty naked people just suffer? Yeah, a little. Okay, well, they're not gonna get paid for this. Like they what? What?
That's Steven, wild work. Like, I won. What do I get?
What do I get?
You get your life back is what you get. Although it might not even be the same life because you've been here for a while. Your job's probably gone. Your wife probably moved on.
Your wife doesn't love you anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Your children forgot your face. Okay. Like it's insane. Okay, so what they get is they get like a daily or a monthly stipend. So if they make, depending on how long they make it, Discovery will pay for like their rent and all of that stuff. So like but that's it.
It's not even a guarantee.
No.
If you don't perform well, you're fucked, basically. This is basically like, okay, I don't want to say it because it's a bad word, but
Steven, it's monthly, right? So like, so from what I read, okay, first of all, people rarely make it 30 days, especially in freaking like barren wasteland of Africa with lions and all this stuff. So they only get the 1 month stipend. And from what I read, Steven, it's only $7,000.
Oh my God, to suffer. Just to suffer.
Steven, like, okay. No, obviously, right? If someone asked me, hey, would you go try your best to survive in Africa for as long as you can for $1 million? I'd be like, am I guaranteed this $1 million? And they'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, I'd do it. Right? If they were like, you have to do it for 30 days, you're going to not get anything. I'd be like, no, I'm not going to do that.
If you don't do this for 30 days, you're not going to collect the normal money you'd probably collect in a month, buddy.
Yeah. What?
And you got to be naked. Who's the producer that demanded that? Like, is it Dan Schneider? Like, is he behind the scenes on this too?
Dude, it makes no sense. Like the naked part of the okay, to like to make it even more ridiculous, I've been watching a show with Carly. Like she loves this show called Alone, and it's literally people going out into the wilderness to survive for as long as possible in a specific area where other people are also trying to survive alone for as long as possible, and the last person gets like $500,000 or something like that. It's not as inhospitable as Africa or whatever, but it's also a situation in which it's the last man standing, last person standing wins. You get all the money, whatever it may be, and you see people with like amazing ingenuity, like these people who like know how to fish and hunt, know how to actually forage and like use the land and all this stuff. Stephen, going from seeing that show and then seeing the way people behave on Naked and Afraid, I'm like, these people just like being naked. Like they're bad at it, Stephen. They're
They literally
so
went to a beach in Florida. They were like, "Hey, this is one of them nude beaches. What if you did this like in an inhospitable
what if,
hellhole
what if you
for
were
little
crying,
money?
though? Like, yeah.
What if you were crying? What if you were crying? What if you were just
It's
and like right before you come, like that week ahead, don't take care of anything. Come all natural. Be as burly or as fucked up as you've ever seen yourself. This is where we want day one to look like day 30, and if it doesn't, we're sending you home. No stipend, no stipend for you, sir. And you gotta be naked.
the we can come. No, that's crazy.
Like the moment they walk off the plane, they're like, all right, take him off. We're
Take
in
them
the
off.
middle
They
of an
really
air.
do. They land
Oh
in
my
the helicopter and they're like, "All right, time to strip." Okay, why?
Is there
Why?
like a guy twirling a cigar, like ominously looking as
Weirdest.
this is
It's the
happening?
weirdest, like Weinsteinian, like it's so creepy. I don't understand it. I like and watching it. They're not even good at it. Like, and I'm sure there are several seasons of it with various people who are good at it. I'm just saying, if you go watch this one, okay, there's no one who's good at it. It's very funny. You watch Naked and Afraid, and like I was imagining, because I was watching Alone, and I was like, oh man, what? Look at how these people are literally building these amazing huts. They're building traps. And they're like successful, and they're doing all this really cool stuff. And I'm learning from this. I'm like, oh cool, this is what I do if the world ends. And then I watched Naked and Afraid, and I'm like, that's what not to do ever in your life
This
for any
isn't
amount of money.
survival at all. This is just
I
this
mean, and
is
there's
Jerry Springer in a different setting. This is what this
so
is.
bad.
You've
It's so
just
funny.
taken people that would sign up for Jerry Springer and put them over here for some reason. I don't know
I don't get it.
I don't know how you did it. Actually, it's pretty
Jerry
impressive.
Springer meets Survivor meets OnlyFans, and you're welcome, people who love dirty butts. I guess I don't know. It's so weird,
There's very specific kinks going on there. I'm sure of it.
and you're welcome.
And
Anyway,
we're
so I
not
signed
judging
up,
you.
Steven. We're going.
You have your naked and afraid kinks.
Yeah,
We're,
we're
we're
going.
going.
It's Naked Afraid Mall Edition. It's just gonna be you and I in a mall for as long as we can survive.
Oh
The
my god, this is horrible. I hate it. Yes, the comic store closed 20 years ago. Okay, this is actually hell on earth. This is what this is. This is misery. Why are we naked here?